வணக்கம். என் பேர் டாக்டர் Republica Sridhar. நான் ஒரு palliative and geriatric care physician. Palliative care அப்படின்னு தமிழில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இது வலி நீக்கம் மற்றும் ஆதரவு சிகிச்சை, அதாவது குணப்படுத்த முடியாத நோய்களுக்கு வலி நீக்கமும் ஆதரவு கொடுக்கறது தான். ஸோ it basically looks after patients who are beyond curative stage, and it is patients who cannot be cured hereafter. How we look after them, particularly advanced cancer, patients who are beyond curative diseases, cardiac patients, renal patients, geriatric patients who are bedridden, who cannot be looked after. Those are the kind of patients who are really coming under palliative care. Now, palliative care also means it is an active intervention for relieving the symptoms where and when it is possible, and it makes the quality and dignity of life better. So that is what is palliative care. So as I told, the diseases which are involved are advanced cancer, because the pain is very excruciating. They cannot handle the pain. We have patients who come and tell, doctor, give me some injection and I'm not able to handle this. So that is what is palliative care all about. So we handle their pain and we handle to maintain their dignity and quality of life. Although we know that the disease is very progressive, we deal with the symptoms and give them that relief. That is what is palliative care. So cancer is one main focus. The other areas are post-stroke, patients who cannot be, rehabilitated, Alzheimer's disease, dementia, delirium. Delirium in sense when it is involved with other disorders. It could be metabolic conditions or comorbid conditions with multiple disabilities. Those are the kind of things, categories which comes under palliative care. And also, CP children and all that, who autistic kids who needs a little bit of rehabilitation, and what we really look after is with a multidisciplinary team. See, we look after with the patients with not only the medical doctors but at nurses, psychosocial workers, several volunteers, pharmacists, physiotherapists. So we work as a team and along with medical. So it is not only medicine but also looking after the physical, mental, emotional and spiritual well-being of the patient. That is what is palliative care. RMD has been providing this care since 2005, and we have been looking after patients who are in such condition. So we have two different entities. We look after patients in a hospital-based care, where we have two hospitals, one in Chennai and one in Sri Perumbudur, and we also provide care for the underprivileged under the trust, where we have a center at Madurai, and we do community-based rehabilitation. Palliative care particularly is not very well known among all the medical fraternity also, to a large extent, because most of them feel that we have to refer the patients only when the disease is completely beyond control. So most of them reach only towards the end of life and all that. That is not palliative care. It is not just terminal illness. It is not just advanced diseases, and where you cannot be. It is not a place where you can just come and leave the patient because they don't have financial condition or to support the disease and things like that. So this integrated care is more holistic, where we look after the mainly the physical, mental and social well-being. All of you all will agree that pain is not just a physical pain, but there is a lot of emotional pain which also needs to be addressed, and that is what palliative care does. So as an organization, we've been doing actively this and helped more than over 80,000 patients so far since 2005. And RMD palliative care strives not only for cancer patients but also for non-cancer and chronic diseases. Particularly elders, we provide home-based care, where we go and do services which to relieve their pain, or to do little procedures like catheterization, inserting a Ryle's tube. So all that will be there. And we also encourage respite care. What do I mean by respite care? When for a short time I need a kind of, I keep looking after such patients, we go into a situation where we also need a break, or we might be traveling, we cannot look after such patients. So that is called respite care. See, we also provide that. So as an organization, we strive to give them pain relief and symptom control. Now, what do I mean by symptom control? For example, there might be a patient with liver secondaries, maybe something from the colon. And what we would do as relatives, and truly we all believe that if the person is not eating food, particularly Asians, because we believe that proper food and proper nutrition will give the energy to the person. That's what we normally believe. So that is the cultural belief which we keep going on telling patient is not eaten for a long time, not eaten for a long time, but fail to realize this patient is not doing it regularly, but they're doing it not deliberately, but because the diseases is not giving them that appetite. So that has to be addressed. Other severe symptoms could be because of post medication with the pain. So pain is handled by medication called morphine. We have been trained to give morphine, particularly to look after the patients in chronic pain and terminal pain. Also, we intervene with active or passive chemotherapy or a palliative chemo and radiotherapy if there is a requirement, particularly when there is a neurological emergency. People will understand there is a cancer, it has gone to the brain. So what happens? The brain gets signals that I cannot function enough. So slowly they start deteriorating. And the madri condition la having a radiotherapy will definitely relieve the patient and give them a little more time to be looked after. So that is what we do. So going for home care, providing them as a hospital-based care and a hospice-based care. And RMD's unique point is we don't insist on attenders, because we do understand when the attenders have to go for work, they cannot leave work, they have to sustain the work, they have to sustain the kith and kin whom they have to look after. So that is one thing. And for pediatric palliative care, we have a ward called Cocoon, which looks after patients, particularly children who are in advanced diseases or with advanced cancer, to give them that pain relief and rehabilitate the family for the necessary reason. So in short, palliative care and geriatric care services is a very, very, very new field. There is lots to know, and lot of people, not only in India, all over the world, are not aware this specialty. Although it has been recognized among oncologists, the other departments have not recognized it. So there is a lot of need and lot of awareness. So media people like you reaching it out to a large section of society will definitely help lot of people to reach out. This is what it is very, the very unique factor which you can help patients to really reach out when there is a need. So we are also available virtually. We are always informing the patient and the family. So that's one more thing in palliative care. Here, the relationship is not just the patient and the doctor, but the entire family, the entire team of the hospital is involved with the family. So that rapport gives the confidence to the patients to start having a good symptom relief. So pain relief is one aspect, symptom relief is one aspect. So as I said, once the emotional factor is also looked after, the patient feels very comfortable, and there is a lot of holistic care which has been given actively. So RMD palliative care believes to add life to days and not just days to life, because that makes a huge difference. And in the growing condition where non-communicable diseases like heart diseases, cancer, lifestyle diseases are increasing, situations like this with the palliative care, and we also integrate a holistic wellness perspective to it. We provide the right nutrition, the right counseling, right physical and physiotherapy, to relieve their pain and suffering. And even if need be, we include on and off alternative medicines. We don't discourage them from that. We say if you have a symptom control, we allow that. We do reflexology. So the ultimate aim, we give massages. So the ultimate aim is to make the patient feel comfortable no matter what is the disease, but in the present condition, what is the best we can do for the customer and the patient. The families are also involved to make them understand what exactly is happening, why this is happening. I'll give a small example. Yesterday I visited a patient who has been suffering with the prostate cancer, and it has spread completely, and the prostate is blocking his urine area, and he is unable to pass urine. If at all he passes urine, it will be blood. But the wife is so anxious, still everything, although she's very educated, very well learned, obviously she's panicked when she sees the blood. She's like, my husband is suffering while passing urine and all that stuff. So we have visited, we have given the medical advice, we are calling them to the hospital to give the necessary medication and IV fluids to make them feel comfortable. So this is one aspect which we need to know, that involving the family at every level to give the treatment is the uniqueness of palliative care, and that is being achieved here. We should also believe that, countries like, developing countries do not have the insurance support system. So such facilities are really important for the cost effectiveness. Otherwise, we will be using unnecessary medical resources, unnecessary use of resources, financial and other resources, which will drain the patient and the nation. So palliative care is one such specialty which would definitely improve not only the quality life of the patient, but also the quality of life of the health in the country, because here we are giving an opportunity to give the important treatment or use the right resources at the right time, so that the quality of life is better rather than just blindly following the protocol. This is very, very important. So palliative care, in a short, is for patients who are beyond curative care. What best could be done in that tenure of life, give them that second life, give them that encouragement, that confidence that they can live life better, with pain free, with a good human dignity, and that is what is important. So as a human being, all of us have the right to live with the right dignity and right without pain. Now the pain can again be physical or emotional pain, all that can be handled by palliative care. So being a palliative and geriatric care physician, I feel this is a very important field, because the future is having elderly people as a long time, and we do have hospices. We've also, are open to look after patients, from other, because we have had patients from other countries who cannot be looked after beyond insurance, and we give them the support. So many of them who've come with no hope have gone back with a lot of hope, because the focus here is to only look at the person and not at the disease alone. That difference makes a huge difference in the care. And as I rightly said, we can even prove, if the resources are used, if we can do the right correction at the correctables at the right time, we can achieve a lot more. So palliative care is one such facility. So although the patient, we know very well, cannot have a cure, they can be looked after well. There are other incidences which I would truly try to say. There are families who come with so much of distress because they've lost financially a lot of money, because we don't have the social security. They have lost a lot of money, resources, they are, the physical and mental well-being. But they reach out to palliative care, and once their symptom is relieved, they really feel that they have reached the right place to look after their symptoms. So palliative care and geriatric care is a specialty which needs, and it is a need of the hour, because it is not just doing the scientific way of care, but using the compassionate way to look after the patients. I would even like to sign off with another true story, which you would know that as a medical doctor, if I can be a more human being, that would be really what is the need which this society really requires right now, particularly because there are single parents, nuclear families. They don't have anybody to approach. They are caught between a lot of situation, particularly now COVID, not to say. Everybody have started feeling alone. That fear is there, that what if I have this disease? Who is going to look after me? Where am I going to be dumped? So that ambiguity is reduced in palliative care, because we are here to give the team support to make you feel comfortable. There was one lady who was young with the breast cancer who came to us, referred from another higher cancer center, where they told that nothing much can be done and she's really sick. But the minute we intervened with the medications with palliative care, so many people think palliative care does not have medications or protocol. No, it's false. Even palliative care we have our own protocols to follow, what cancer, what will relieve. If it is a bone cancer, the normal painkillers will not help. So there is a particular thing. If there is a secondary in the brain, we'll have to give, the particular medicine. So this lady reached us the minute we gave her the medical management. She was around 36-year-old lady. She became better. The sisters who thought she was going to die within 2-3 days just looked at her in a different way, because they were like totally shocked that how come this lady is quite good. And she became that good that she walked up to me and said, doctor, give me some job. I'm so bored sitting in the bed. Give me some computer. I'm very good in accounts. I can help you. So which we made her do. The second thing is, the very sad part is the husband became an alcoholic because she had breast cancer. 2 years she going up and down to the hospital made him very depressed. And she had a son, adolescent son, who was going to school, who had issues in school because the school did not know that the mother was suffering from this disease. Rather, they would tell, why are you coming shabbily? What is happening? Why is this happening? So that is when we palliative care team, once we physically made the patient better, we sat and counseled the family. We also reached out to the school with our social workers, explained to them the situation of that son. And one more real truth about this family is, this lady thought husband has become alcohol, nobody's going to look after my son. So she even went up to the extent of adopting her son to her colleague, which we intervened, called the husband, told her this is the reality, and you won't believe, she lived with the family back. The son is now finished his civil engineering and he's working in a big corporate. This is the story, this is the change we can make. And as the patient wished, she lived with her husband and passed off on his lap, with no regrets. So that is the difference palliative care can bring. It is not just giving the physical and medical support, but also going one step beyond, involving the family, trying to rehabilitate them, and going far. One more true story is from a very underprivileged girl. She became an orphan from a fisherman's family from Kadalur, where she lost her family in the tsunami then affected. So she had nobody. She was just trying to beg and get her meals, and God felt that is not enough. She landed up with the osteosarcoma, which is a cancer of the bone. She was treated in several government hospitals in and around, but after she became bedbound, nobody could handle her. And she reached out our center. So as our non-profit organization called RMD Pain Palliative Care Trust. She reached, we admitted her through our other palliative care colleagues from Pallium India and Lakshmi Palliative Care, because they reached out to us because we have an inpatient hospice facility. This girl lived with us with no pain, with good dignity. And the last thing which she wanted is a fish curry. We don't provide non-vegetarian, but she insisted. She said, I'm just missing my meen korumbu, I want it. So we provided that. She was so happy and so thrilled. She was aware of the diseases. She would coolly say, கடவுள் வந்து அவங்களெல்லாம் கூட்டிகிட்டு போயிட்டாரு, என்ன லேட்டாக தான், he is only going to take me a little later there, but thanks for relieving my pain. And she insisted on a fish curry. We gave her a fish curry and she left this world 2 days later. So today, as palliative care physician, as a team, we are not upset because we were able to give this little bit of smile no matter what was the stage of a disease. So that is the difference we can make. So palliative care specialty is the need, especially when the geriatric population is becoming high. There are many nuclear families. People don't know where out to reach. They become vulnerable. They are used. They are abused. So these are the things can be avoided, and this specialty needs to spread. And I'm really thankful to this Tokyo TV to give this opportunity to spread the awareness of palliative care through me and support our organization to reach out to more people. So thank you, and this is Dr. Republica Sridhar from RMD Palliative Care Centers and Trust Hospitals. Thank you.